Hey everybody, it's Chrissy Key Rollins here. And yesterday I posted an energy update sharing about how all is not how it seems. How right now life is presenting an opportunity for us to move past the surface level, go beyond appearances, move past what something looks like, seems like, and start to get connected to, bring into conversation and communication a bigger, fuller picture of what is actually happening so that we can heal, release, let go, and stop blaming and shaming each other and ourselves as we go through this collective human conscious experience together. Hey, whoever's here, say hello. So, as I was reflecting about this share of how life is inviting us to start to tap into and go beyond the surface level appearance of how things are around us, what things are looking like, what they're seeming like, what people are acting like, what it seems like they're doing, and we jump to our own conclusions a lot of times without even realizing that we're doing it. So right now, life is asking us to use a discerning eye to look beyond what is behind. What do you know to be an absolute truth in these situations that you're dealing with? And what goes beyond that is that once you start to tap into, or if you can open up and embrace and allow yourself to accept this invitation to start to go beyond what is at surface level, going beyond, it takes a bravery, it takes a boldness that a lot of us are used to associating with other people other than ourselves, because this invitation is specifically, it's going out to all of us, but I feel specifically those of us that are a little bit more sensitive, that are more affected by how other people respond and react to life, a little bit more affected and distracted by circumstances that are happening around us. When we are feeling this and like we're doing okay until something happens and it pulls us out of our mood, or it pulls us out of our inspiration, or we feel like that depletion in our energy when we engage, right? We're not necessarily talking about those that are used to expressing themselves, the ones that are used to speaking out, the ones that are used to kind of forcing their way through life, right? They've been doing that. They've been doing that thing. That's what's been going on. And it's been trampling over all of us that aren't that way, that are more passive, that aren't going to disrupt everything just to make sure that we have our way, because we have become adaptable. We can kind of move around other people and situations, and we can become flexible. And in that passivity, in that flexibility, we can develop patterns of avoidance, of keeping ourselves safe in situations that aren't really a threat to us. And when we begin to take that awareness and pair it with this invitation that life is giving us to go beyond what things look like, it's an invitation for us passive individuals to start to be more bold in our expression. And that doesn't mean we have to be bold like those other people, the ones that run other people over, that talk over, that speak loudly, that are just more aggressive in the way that they express themselves, and it's uncomfortable for us to be around, so we find ourselves just agreeing or moving away from or not dealing with. The boldness that's being asked of us is not to meet aggression with aggression. It's to take a bold stand within our own passivity, within our own certainty that there is a more compassionate way to communicate, to connect with people, to work through situations. We have to take a bold stand for our passive ways, and that doesn't always look like an outward, out loud expression. Sometimes that means breaking the cycle of suffering because of the stories that you're telling yourself within yourself while you're handling a situation. So if you really believe that people should not argue and inflict harm on each other, like you really believe that there's another way to be, it is not a battle match of take out the people that are battling, right? Because now we're just doing the same thing. What we are being asked to do is to drop the battle that we are having within ourselves, and to begin to realize that the areas that we are feeling so overwhelmed, that we are feeling so fearful, that we are bumping up against this illusion that we're being invited to move beyond the surface level of, it's an internal experience. What you begin to realize is that this outward display of events is evoking, it is bringing forth inside of you an unsettling. And what life is asking for you to do is to pay attention to that unsettling and start to notice what is going along with it. I always feel so suppressed whenever they show up. Why does he always have to cut me off? Why are they always trying to control me? Why does he do that to me? Why don't they ever think about me? Why don't they consider me? Why are they not respecting me? Those are the things that we're being asked to listen to pay attention to. This is the key to start to unlock this cycle and break the pattern from happening in your life. So when we start to pay attention to that narrative, when we start to see how that story does not line up with the truth about what we know about ourselves, this other person, this life experience, what we believe is behind it. Thanks for the love. I just got a thumbs up there. I can't see who's here. I don't know why it doesn't ever show me who's here, but I see that you're there, and I'm glad that you're here. This boldness, it doesn't have to look like a battle. This boldness looks like surrender. It looks like taking a knee. But this time when you surrender, this time when you take a knee, you will not be doing it to omit yourself from the conversation and to let the other person have all the energetic space. It's a boldness that happens within you to give up the battle, to surrender to the moment without becoming a victim of your circumstances. To maintain your autonomy, to maintain your beingness, no matter how loud, how contradictory the voices, the imagery, the situation, the circumstances around you, no matter how much it contradicts your belief, you're being asked to take a stand inside yourself and to be bold within you. And to wake up and to realize that you actually have nothing to lose except for the illusion that you have something to lose. Now, yes, people's circumstances can change given a different course of events. Things like that can shift for sure. But what we're talking about is that being authentic, using your voice, finding a way to be bold in your actions and in your non-actions is what right now is all about. And that boldness, it's subtle. It happens underneath the surface. It's an intimate, personal thing. It doesn't always get expressed outwardly. You have to be bold within yourself to be able to stand up and say, interesting, beloved. I hear you speaking to me in this tone of voice. And I know that you always have my best interest at heart. So can you help me to understand what you have to be so frustrated about, or what you're so frustrated about right now? And what you're begin to do is to break past this illusional cycle that you have trapped yourself into of the same people doing the same thing in the same way. Maybe the faces change, maybe the places change, but you get the same experience over and over and over. And that experience is not broken by boldness of you being something out of alignment of your character. It's about boldness and full alignment within your character to dare to bring something more truthful from within yourself outward into the world. And maybe that sparks a movement outward. Maybe it sparks a movement inward. This boldness is not, it can be overwhelming. Facing your fears and daring to bust an illusion can be completely overwhelming. But take this back into your day. Allow yourself to reflect over and start to notice where you're feeling that internal nudge and what would being bold look like to you. Because for a lot of us, the radical thing to do is to stop fighting. The radical thing to do is to say, I love you, even though you're obviously having a crisis right now. The bold thing to do would be, I'm sorry you're having that experience of me. I have a completely different experience of me. It's one that's compassionate and loving. And thank you for your feedback. That's bold. And it's different than the examples that we see around you. And it sets up a different course of events for you to have a different outcome and different experience on the other side. But it starts with a different outcome and a different experience of you on the inside. And if you're somebody who's like, Chrissy, I'm kind of hearing what you're saying here, and I get it, but I'm really overwhelmed. I'm really scared. I'm not quite sure exactly what to do in this situation. By all means, you can reach out to me and we can chat it up a little bit. But I do invite you, if this is something that's like, wow, I never thought about it this way, and I would love to be more empowered within myself. I would love to have more autonomy. I would love to be more unaffected by the choices and circumstances of other people and events that happen around me. I invite you to enroll in the Empathic Healers course that is going to be starting on October 29th. You can go to bit.ly empathic healer right now, or you can go to holisticrestoration.com. There's a button right on the front page. I'll drop a link in the comment below. And it is an amazing 4-week course that is not just for empathic healers. This is for any individual that has been thinking that they're empathic, been told that they're empathic, or are just big feelers. Like if you are knocked out of your game, if you start the day out in a great mood, but then other people and circumstances knock you off your emotional pedestal that you're standing on, this is the course for you. What we're going to do is help you to better understand yourself, what comes up inside of you, better understand your relationship to other people, help you to better ground, anchor, clear, and balance your own energy so that you can maintain and keep your footing regardless of what those other rascals are doing, and also how to better read other people's energy so that we can start to tap into those unseen aspects or unrepresented aspects that bring the fuller story to the table that aren't always represented by the person's choices, words, and actions, right? So it's a total and complete course that will allow you to maintain your footing as you walk through this life and allow you to make your journey ahead, your personal journey, your professional journey, wherever it is that you go, a healing experience for yourself and for anybody who crosses your path. So instead of having more harm done to you by the choices of others, you actually can flip that harm upside down and take every single action that's done towards you and allow it to be something that heals both you and the other person, regardless if you engage with that person or not. It's pretty radical, it's pretty bold, and it is something that is very dear to my heart, and I'm very excited to bring, and that people that have engaged with it so far are really aligned with it. They're very committed to this work, and I'm excited. I'm excited to support the journey. We're going to kick it off in a couple weeks, so I wanted to mention it here. So I'd love to know, what is something bold that you have done that has set yourself up in a different course of events in your life, but maybe nobody else even knew that you were being bold? This boldness, it takes place within our own heart. It takes place within ourselves because we're the ones that are being trapped by whatever comes up whenever other people do whatever other people do. And that ability to decipher what comes up inside of you, to be able to process, to sort, to manage, to understand, and to respond instead of react whenever these things come about, for me, it literally is what keeps me earthside and moving one foot in front of the other day in, day out. No matter if my business is working, my relationship is working, my body's how I want it, whatever distractions pop up, this is what I go to over and over and over again. And the more that I integrate it, the more my life changes, the more my footing is firm, the less I am knocked over by life. It doesn't stop life from coming at you. But when it does, I have a repeatable process, I have a game plan. And the more that I utilize it, the better it works in my life, the more effective it is, the more results I get, the more ease I experience, the more settled I become, the more consistent I become, the more easy it is for me to show up in life, the easier it is for me to engage and participate in life. And for me, these are big things. And if that would be a big thing for you, check out this course. I would love to have you, or just reach out and we can connect further one-on-one. I thank you so much for watching this. I really hope that this was helpful. I would love your thoughts and feedback on it to just let me know. Can you connect with this? Can you relate? Are you feeling that fear? Are you feeling that nudge? Are you feeling that call for boldness? And are you ready to be bold? I'll be bold with you. All right. I love you. Thanks for being here. I see y'all all out there live watching. I'm so glad you're here. I wish that I could see if you're commenting or not, but I'll check it just as soon as I sign off. All right. Thanks for being here. Bye.